up, crypto warriors? It's Sergeant Crypto back at it again. Today is Friday, August 28th, 2020. Today I'm going to get on my high horse and, my soapbox and just talk about these three articles that I have pulled up for you guys today. And yeah, let's just get right into it. The truth about the law. This is an inflation website. Just looked up inflation, and this is one of the things that popped up. The cost of living back in 1938. And it just goes over, inflation is something they create to steal from you. As you can see, if you're driving, please don't look at the screen. But, if you're looking at this, you can see that steal is capitalized. Inflation it doesn't help anyone except for the wealthy, except for the people that's closest to the money printer. This is another article coming from Forbes. Again, everything will be linked in the description below. This is another article coming from Forbes. You call it inflation, I call it theft. Inflation is just that. It is theft. It is slowly eroding the wealth away from the bottom, say 60% of the people here in the US. If you're in other places of the world, I don't know what the stats are, but it's basically the same. And the people closest to the money printer or the currency printer are the ones that benefit the most. This is why we've seen with the worst fall off in the stock market in history since the Great Depression, a quick bounce back. A quick bounce back to now new all-time highs because of the Federal Reserve, a private bank, mind you, that has intervened and has print an unlimited amount of currency, and people have nowhere to put it but into real hard assets, stocks, real estate, gold, silver, and Bitcoin. This is why we're seeing a price rise. It's not that nothing has changed fundamentally with these assets. It's not that, if you're taking a house, for instance, there's no new renovation done to the house in the past 6 months or so, past 3 months, but the house is now valued instead of 300,000, it's now valued at, let's go 400, 500,000. Just look in your neighborhood and see the value of these homes over the past, since March. All right, since the beginning of the year till now, you'll see that the value of homes has risen like a lot. The value of stocks. This is why the top, 10 wealthiest people in the world, or mostly in the US, have their wealth have increased almost, or not almost, but by $500 billion. Nothing has changed with the companies that they have founded or that they are invested in. It's just that they have nowhere else to put all that money, that they're free money that they're getting. The only place they could put it are in stocks, real estate, gold, silver, and again, Bitcoin, into real hard assets. The two of them that are the hardest assets are gold and Bitcoin. Inflation is theft. The bottom 50, 60% of people don't own any assets. It's just their spending power is decreasing. The prices of things are going to go up, and they're still getting paid the same. This is why you have to educate yourself and learn more about what they are doing. Learn about investing. Learn about money. Learn about finances. It may seem like boring stuff. It may seem like, it's it's boring, it's dry. It's coming from people that aren't interesting. But these are things that you have to learn. Read books like The Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Bitcoin and Black America, all right, and The Creature from Jekyll Island. Those are definite must reads. You have to read those books. You have to learn more about finances. You have to learn more about what they are doing to our wealth. They're stealing from us. I can't emphasize that enough. They're stealing our money. Next, here it is. Bitcoin briefly hits 11.6K as Fed says it will let inflation pass 2%. Now, they've been telling us that inflation is set at around 2%. We know that true inflation is really about 5 to 7%. Bitcoin spiked to 11.6K on August 27th as the United States Federal Reserve committed to maintaining an average of 2% inflation. So here it is. This is what happened with the quote-unquote annual meeting of the banksters of the world, all the central banksters. They typically go to Jackson Hole in Wyoming, have fancy dinners and fancy breakfasts and things of that nature, play a round or two of golf or whatever, and drink fancy wines and cognac, smoke expensive Cuban cigars, and talk about what their plans are moving forward. Last year, we saw the former Bank of England chair came out and said that what the United States is doing is wrong and that people need to protect themselves. Look it up, Google it. All right, the Bank of England chair came out and spoke out against what the Federal Reserve, what the U.S. banksters are doing is basically wrong. Typically, they don't come out and speak out against each other. They're basically all on the same page. But he was stepping out, he was leaving, so he probably felt like doing a mic drop moment, and that's what he did. But here we go. Powell, our favorite Federal Reserve chairman, inflation can go moderately above 2%. That's special speak for, that's basically FU speak for, yeah, we're going to let this thing ride, and we're just going to print unlimited money. We don't care about you and your wealth. So today, a loaf of bread may cost $2.99. In a month or two, it'll cost maybe $3.99, and we don't care. While you're still getting paid the same. Following periods when inflation has been running below 2%, appropriate monetary policy will likely aim to achieve inflation moderately above 2% for some time. Powell summarized. In seeking to achieve inflation that averages 2% over time, we are not tying ourselves to a particular mathematical formula that defines the average. Meaning, we have no idea what we're doing, and the formulas that we came up with in the past to keep it at 2%, we are just going to let that thing ride. What formula? We don't even know how 2 plus 2 equals 4 anymore. We're going to say 2 plus 2 equals 10. And who cares? I'm close to the money printer. I'm secure. I don't care about you and you filthy peons on the bottom. That's what's happening right now. Is they're going to print their way out of this situation. At the same time, the U.S. dollar index, currency index, which had dipped to a two-year lows in recent weeks, fell further as the speech began. In conducting monetary policy, we will remain highly focused on fostering as strong a labor market as possible for the benefit of all Americans, Powell concluded, and we will steadfastly seek to achieve a 2% inflation rate over time, meaning they'll see what happens. So as the inflation rate bounces well over 2%, we will see how we can adjust it back down to 2%, meaning if it goes to 7-10% inflation, then we're going to hike interest rates to see if that helps. If it doesn't help, then we'll keep it there, because we saw what happened in 2018 when they started to slowly increase the interest rates, that the president came out and was against it, and the market was against it, and the market fell by a lot in December of 2018. Don't take my word for it. Or is it December 2018? Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Always DYOR, do your own research, look it up, and you will see that's what happened. All right. Next. So because of all this currency printing, Visa Exec says buy Bitcoin as dollar index nears 12.5K Bitcoin trigger. So we're even seeing the fact that they're printing so much currency. They're printing and printing, and they're keeping interest rates at zero, and they're gonna print a limited amount of currency, that even the senior director of public policy at Visa, Andy Yee, says, this is his quote, he tweeted, "Never in the history of mankind was so much stolen from so many by so few. Opt out with Bitcoin." Hand clap for you, sir. You are a Visa executive and you're coming out and you're telling people to opt out with Bitcoin. That means don't use my crappy Visa product. Although I'm an executive here at Visa, let me close that door, that's my son in the background playing. Although I work at Visa, I'm an executive here at Visa, a credit card company that basically steals money from people with crazy interest rates. I'm telling you to opt out of the system and buy Bitcoin. Think about that, people. Please think about that. Think about it. What's that saying? If you are trying to explain to your family members, if you're trying to explain to your friends about what Bitcoin is, please share this video. Let them see. Share this article. Again, it's all the articles I talk about and go over are in the description below. Share the article. Let them see that the senior director of public policy at Visa is telling people opt out with Bitcoin. Fed shift good for hardest assets, gold and Bitcoin. This is coming from Real Vision, Raoul Pal. And we know that he's a Bitcoin and gold lover. All right. Most people don't understand the latter, but is simply put, Powell has shown that there is zero tolerance for deflation, so they will do anything to stop it. And that is good for the two hardest assets, gold and Bitcoin. Powell wants inflation. This is coming from Saifedean Ammous, the author of the Bitcoin Standard. Great book also. That's the number 5 book, the Bitcoin Standard. Again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, Bitcoin in Black America, The Creature of from Jekyll Island, and the Bitcoin Standard. Must reads. The reduction in the new supply of Bitcoins clearly reduced the new selling onto the market, so probably has helped keep the price up or keep it from dropping further, he told the On-Chain podcast. Central banks, quantitative easing, and everybody helicopter money policy, giving everybody checks, seems to have done the same for the stock market. Now let's wait and see for the long run effects of the two approaches. Again, they're keeping interest rates zero and they are printing unlimited amount of cash. It's only a matter of time, people. Only a matter of time. Opt out here again. Opt out with Bitcoin. Next, all right, on a little lighter news, U.S. authorities go after 280 crypto accounts allegedly tied to North Korea. Well, North Korea, we know they're under sanction. They're going to do, their backs are against the wall, so they're going to do what they're going to need to do to take care of themselves, all right? We even see that their leader may or may not be sick, and his sister is set to take over. That's neither here nor there. It's just that, yes, the U.S. knows that they are stealing cryptos from crypto exchanges, and they're washing it through different exchanges with 280 different accounts, trying to launder the money. But this is crypto, and we could kind of, if you do the due diligence, you could keep track of it. All right, so over $200 million of crypto assets, $250 million of crypto assets stolen. I have this one right here. This is coming from Reddit. This is the Bitcoin time traveler. Now, just bear with me for a quick second, okay? Just bear with me for a quick second. This was written, or it's been updated back in October of 2019, but this was written back in like 2013 or so, right? Here it is. I'm a Bitcoin time traveler from the future, here to here to beg you to stop what you're doing. The value of Bitcoin has increased about a factor of 10 every 2 years. So a factor of 10 every 2 years to $1,000 in 2015, 10,000 in 2017, 100,000 in 2019. We know that didn't happen, and $1 million in 2021. The 4 institutions with the largest still accessible Bitcoin balance are believed to be as following: the ASIC miner, 50,000 Bitcoin; IMF's Currency Stabilization Fund, 70,000 Bitcoin; Government of Saudi Arabia, 110,000 Bitcoin; and the North Korean government with 180,000 Bitcoin. Now, this is why I looked it up, because we're seeing that North Korea has been hacking and stealing cryptocurrencies from different cryptocurrency exchanges or worldwide, mostly in South Korea and China, and they're stealing uh, money or cryptocurrencies, and they're exchanging it back into Bitcoin, and they hoard a lot of Bitcoin right now. North Korea has a lot of Bitcoin, and it's kind of seeming that this stuff here is starting to come true. This guy wrote this again, like in either 2011 or 2013. So here it is again, U.S. government going after North Korea for stealing Bitcoin or cryptos, and this Bitcoin time traveler stated in the past that Bitcoin or North Korea has over 180,000 Bitcoin. I'm not saying that is true and that 2025 will be a crazy, an even crazier year than it has been here in 2020. But you let me know. Let's talk about it in the comment section below. The stealing of our wealth with inflation that the Federal Reserve is just going to let run rampant, and Visa's executive coming out and saying opt out with Bitcoin, and the fact that South Korea or North Korea has been stealing Bitcoin since 2011, 2013, and the Bitcoin time traveler has stated as much. Thanks for watching. This is one of my longer videos, I know. Please smash up the like, hit that subscribe button, notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos. And it's Sergeant Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.